Hello and welcome back to the Baggies Podcast YouTube channel, where of course we're giving you all the latest news, views and opinions on all things Albion. We are back again today with some very happy news. Okay Yokuslu has re-signed for West Bromwich Albion. It's a fantastic deal, a fantastic move to have Yokuslu back at the Hawthorns. We'll be talking all about that today, the details of the deal, where he's likely to fit in Steve Bruce's system, and kind of what he can bring, because it's been a while since we've seen him, but we all know his quality, so we'll be chatting through sort of that previous loan spell as well in this video. Make sure, for all your latest Albion transfer updates like this, of course, it's a very hot Monday afternoon today, but we're all in good spirits now, but make sure you subscribe to the Baggies Podcast YouTube channel for more news like this. Well, I can't promise that the news will come if you subscribe, but if it does come, we'll be the first on it. And make sure you comment your thoughts on the Yokuslu transfer down below. Yeah, a fantastic deal for Albion. Let's get straight into it. Let's talk Okay Yokuslu to West Brom. You're watching the Baggies Podcast YouTube channel. For match previews, match day vlogs, match reactions and more, make sure to subscribe to the Baggies Podcast YouTube channel. So let's talk about this transfer. What a move it is for Albion. What a move it is to bring Yokuslu back to the Hawthorns. I mean, yeah, if you'd have asked me a few months ago, number one, I wasn't aware that his contract expired, and I think we kind of learned that over the past few weeks or so. But, you know, if you'd have asked me, will Yokuslu sign for West Brom ever again, I'd have probably said no. I'd have thought, I'd have thought that a lot of clubs would be chasing him, especially in England. Probably not in Spain, because I think we've learned that kind of his play style doesn't massively suit the Spanish style as it is. And I think that's really why he's ended up coming back to England and why he did so well in the first place at Albion. But yeah, of course, Albion have reached that agreement on a 3-year deal. I'll do a bit of reading first, and then we'll get sort of into the teeth of the transfer. Albion have reached an agreement to sign Turkey international midfielder Okay Yokuslu on a 3-year contract. The 28-year-old, who departed La Liga side Celta Vigo earlier this summer, impressed at the Hawthorns during the second half of the 2020-21 Premier League season, making 16 appearances for the Baggies. Yokuslu has earned 39 caps for his country, including 3 first-team appearances at Euro 2020, and will arrive in the Black Country on receipt of a work permit. Baggies boss Steve Bruce said, "I'm delighted we've been able to secure the player of Okay Yokuslu's quality. Having already been able to sign Swifty and Jed this window, I'm really pleased that the club have shown further intent by bringing in Okay. The middle of the park is an area in which I felt we needed more quality, and from what I've seen of him, he certainly offers that in abundance. I know that he's a fan's favourite following his first spell at the club, and I'm confident it will shine again for us this season. I must applaud the club for reacting quickly to an ever-changing situation. Ron and the staff behind the scenes have worked tirelessly to seal Okay Yokuslu's signature. We faced fierce competition from big clubs across Europe, but the player made it clear he wanted to return to the Albion, and he has his sights set firmly on the Premier League. We're delighted to have him." There we go then. Yokuslu is a Baggie once again, and yeah, I think we're all pretty buzzing with that, and yeah, I think we're all pretty happy with how that's gone and how we've managed to secure the deal. Of course, released by Celta Vigo amid, I think, a stalling career in Spain. It's probably fair to call it. He's not really played very many minutes. I think I've got it down here. He's only played 586 minutes in La Liga last season. Yeah, the reason Bruce, of course, I think what's the confusion is that, everyone was saying, oh, Yokuslu, he's been released, and we were all saying, oh, that's brilliant, we could sign him. And then Bruce came out and kind of said, oh, that ship sailed. The reason he said that is because there were other clubs interested, and he thought, oh, well, he's off to Schalke, and which were the other real big club interested in that was Bundesliga level, a Bundesliga level club who've just been promoted back there. And he's kind of like, oh, that ship sailed, because he thinks, he's going to Bundesliga, that's the good league. He's going to want to play in there more than he wants to play for Albion. But things didn't work out with Schalke, and the next option on his list was Albion, and he wants to return home here. He wants to come back. He's put on Twitter this morning, glad to return home, which is a nice touch. I think it's a bit weird because we weren't even in the ground when Yokuslu played. I think we were only in with him for one game, and that was West Ham. And I think he knew how much he was appreciated, knew how much that we loved him, and knew that he was always going to be welcome back. And I think that's one of the reasons why he's decided to come back. Of course, made those 16 appearances for us in the 2020-21 season. he didn't kind of change our fortunes really. I think that's probably the wrong phrase to use. I was going for it there, but he kind of improved the quality of our side and gave us more of a fighting chance. Quite literally, he's a real battler, and considering somebody who has no affiliation for the club, no real connection with us at all, and came in and did this loan job for us and put in a real good shift for us. So yeah, for me, Yokuslu did a really good job for us, and I'm very happy that he has chosen to come back. Really, he's obviously lowered those wage demands a little bit to join Albion again. He could probably have got another move in Spain, probably got another move, of course, in Germany as well. But yeah, it's just really odd. I couldn't believe that we'd managed to pull this off. In the Premier League, he was a real different animal. I was saying, when he left us, and I said that, the likes of Leeds were looking at him. There are quite a few teams after him, and I thought, I actually think he's a little bit better than those sorts of teams. I think he's probably pushing into the top half of the Premier League the way he played for us on loan. So the Championship is a completely different. He could be a completely different animal in the Championship. I think he's the signing of the season in the whole of the Championship. If I'm honest, if I have to be completely plain with you at this moment in time, I think from all the deals I've seen, I think Yokuslu is the highest quality of deal that we've seen, and I think he could be the real difference maker in going up this season. I know he's not really the progressive midfielder that we wanted, but the quality that he could possess on the ball is ridiculous for this level. I mean, for Premier League he was doing so well. So in the Championship, what's he going to do? I suppose the question mark is he going to be the same player? Not played that many minutes over the last couple of seasons. Can he be exactly what we were looking for and exactly what we were hoping that he could have been a couple of seasons ago? I'm not sure, but yeah, we're all hoping that he can be, and I think we've all got our fingers very much crossed on that one. He's likely to play as that number 6, of course. I think Bruce was quite keen to have that in his inventory, and he can kind of push one of the other midfielders a bit further forward now. As I said, Yokuslu's that midfield enforcer. He's likely to. I'm sure this will. I'm not necessarily music to my ears, because I do like Jake, and I do think he's a good lad and one of the good eggs in the group. Really, he's going to probably bench Livermore. I think there's very little room for him now in that position. I think Yokuslu could even potentially sit alongside Alex Mowat. I think that could be something that could work as a double pivot. I think Steve Bruce is likely to play 4-2-3-1, so he could sit alongside Alex Mowat. There are questions about that fitness, of course, and lasting to the end of matches and keeping himself ticking over until the end. I'm not really sure where that has massively come from, because I think he's joining in pre-season now, which I think is a little bit different for him. And I think that's quite cool, because he's coming in, he's going to be able to sort of catch up, get up to speed with the squad, get some minutes. Hopefully, I'd probably estimate Hertha Berlin's probably the earliest we may see him. If not, it's probably the Championship opener maybe. But he's got time to get in with his fitness. Of course, he hasn't had that proper pre-season because, of course, he hasn't had that club. But I think there's a chance that he can work well with that and improve that with the end of pre-season coming. Lack of game time, lack of match sharpness, of course, is a bit of a problem. As I said, the minutes he's had have been limited. But then again, I think that's something that can be improved if he gets a few minutes against Hertha Berlin next Saturday. I'll hopefully be going to that game and filming the first vlog of the season. So yeah, stick around for that and make sure that you subscribe if you want to see that as well. So yeah, Yokuslu is just a really decent transfer. I'm just really happy that we've managed to get it over the line. It's just really amazing how that a player has felt such affinity with the club after only being there for quite a short amount of time, and I think that's really lovely to see. And yeah, it really does make a huge deal of difference when a player is keen to come back to the club, and I think the fans are really keen to do it as well. So yeah, I'd also like to say to Ron Gurley, I think that's quite interesting from him that he's managed to secure 3 top-level Championship players coming in before the end of the window. You look at this side, and I think that Albion are, I don't want to say it, but there or thereabouts with ready to go for the Championship season. So with that, I think you'd like to pick in a few more loans, maybe a couple of loans that you'd like to bring in to just bed out the squad, bring in maybe some attacking options, perhaps. I think that there's a chance that Albion are ready for this season. Now, maybe a striker to come in as a backup, I think would be nice as well. But I think Albion are there or thereabouts, and you look at the teams around them and the teams that could be challenging as well. They're not finished with their business. Where I think Albion have improved the quality of their side already. And you look at that starting 11 now, and I think that could be good enough to start the season. I think it's just that depth and who you bring off the bench, because at the moment you're still bringing off the bench those players that have caused the problems last season. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but I think that the starting 11 looks a lot better for it, and I have to credit Ron Gourlay for bringing that in. And yeah, that's all I've got time for really today. But yeah, Yokuslu aside, let me know your thoughts down below. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do in an Albion shirt. Again, I'm buzzing with this transfer. Make sure you subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully more good news to come. See you next time. Goodbye.